From KXLY News, this is the Emmy Award-winning News 4 at 5, live from Calgary.
And good evening once again, everyone, and welcome to News 4 live from Calgary, Alberta.
Well, over the next 2 days, we'll bring you stories that affect Calgarians as well as those of you south of the border.
And right now, as we said before, we are at the top of the Calgary Tower, and we're going to tell you more about this tower coming up a little bit later. But first, why are we here?
Well, you may know this, but Spokane television is very popular up here in Calgary, and thanks to cable, residents are able to tune in to what's going on across the border. And a lot of people watch KXLY TV up here.
And we are going to see more from Calgary coming up just a little bit later, including a look at the Alberta healthcare system and also the rodeo, which I'm looking forward to. But first, we take you back to our studios in Spokane, where Karen Kelly has the day's news. Karen?
Okay, thank you, Rob and Marianne. Time now to take you north of the border, where KXLY news crews join us live from Calgary, Alberta. Rob and Marianne, you've got quite a view of the city there.
Yeah, we sure do, and you know, it's really something else. A little bit cloudy here today, but it's not too bad. As we said, we are from the Calgary Tower, which looks over downtown. Olympic Park on a clear day. You can even see the mountains from here. That's how high up we are, about 600 feet.
Well, the tower was built in 1968, originally named the Husky Tower, and in 1971 it was dedicated to the people here and renamed the Calgary Tower. It boasts 2 high-speed elevators that take you up 600 feet in just 60 seconds to a revolving restaurant at the very top.
And it is Calgary's most famous landmark, we are told. When the city hosted the 1988 Winter Olympics, a natural gas torch was actually added to the top of the tower, and we are told that that is still used for special events that they have up here.
Well, Calgary is known as an oil town, but it's the people here that really make the town special. They've made us feel welcome already.
There's some great people up here, all the people we have met. And coming up next here on News 4, live from Calgary, a different approach in schools helps kids take back the classroom from troublemakers. We'll show you just how it works.
You're watching KXLY News 4 at 5 with Rob Daugherty, Marianne Mishima, weather with meteorologist Steve Mom, and sports with Bud Namick.
Well, welcome back to News 4 Live from Calgary. And here in Calgary, the police have an entire division dedicated to community and youth services.
That's right. There are actually 13 constables who do nothing but work in the schools. The constables on this beat, like Gord Sands, report to work at the schools under their charge. And each constable is assigned to work with 2 high schools and the junior highs that feed into them. Constable Sands says that they build relationships to keep kids out of trouble. And it's really interesting because several new programs have actually come out of this relationship, one that aims to help kids take back their schools from troublemakers.
And Karen Kelly looked into this, and she joins us now stateside with the rest of the story. Karen?
Rob, Marianne, as you know, the program is called School Watch. It's an effort where students solve problems within their school, be it theft, intimidation, fighting, vandalism. I checked in on a School Watch program in its 2nd year.
In Health Beat tonight, most Americans have no experience with the Canadian healthcare system. Well, we've heard lots of talk about long waiting lists and lack of technology, but honestly, most of us know very little about it. So we asked people here in Calgary who pay dearly through their taxes what they think about the healthcare they get.
Better than yesterday. Yeah, you had a rough go of it last evening.
I had a bad night.
Yeah.
Ruth Fratier feels justified complaining a little. She's just been through painful foot surgery. But you won't hear many complaints about Canada's health care plan.
I think we have some of the best doctors and the best Medicare.
Medicare is what most Canadians call their national health insurance. You might be surprised to know, though, each province inside Canada has its own health plan. Here it's called Alberta Healthcare, a package of benefits guaranteed to everyone, unemployed or working. Like Americans, many Canadians get their premiums paid by their employer, but their premiums are small. The majority of Canadian healthcare is paid through their taxes. For the middle class, that can total several $100s a month.
Yeah, I think they're Jason.
Rick Stevens' employer doesn't pay the $60 a month premium for his family. Rick does. But to him, it's a small price to pay. 2.5 years ago, his twins were born premature and very ill. He's recovering from the 2nd back surgery in 5 years.
I've certainly got my share with my twins and my 2 backs and every other problem I've had.
When Rick's back flared up this time, it was sudden and devastating.
And on Saturday, my 6-year-old daughter found me lying on the floor in tears. I was in so much pain I couldn't walk.
Doctors didn't hesitate. They got Rikk an MRI right away. But getting a high-tech test like an MRI quickly goes against what most Americans understand about Canadian health care. They've heard about the long waiting lists, and they do exist, purposely. Canadians use technology sparingly. They know it's expensive. Only those with serious medical problems get one.
If you have a problem with your ankle and you want to come in for an MRI, you don't get it here.
John King's an administrator at Foothills Hospital, where one of only 2 public MRIs in all of Calgary is located. Though the city has 800,000 people to serve, officials may close down one of those MRIs. King says they believe high-tech tests don't necessarily mean better health care.
We always heard in Seattle that Seattle had more MRIs than all of Canada. And a health minister that we had here before used to tell this story because she used to say, "Ed, I don't think the Americans are healthier than Canadians."
Tomorrow, he'll decide tomorrow when I can go home. So.
For the most part, Ruth Vertier is happy with her insurance. What isn't covered under Alberta Health Plan is covered under a supplemental plan that cost her and her employer less than $12 a month for her entire family. Regardless of what most Americans think, Canadians don't seem envious of our healthcare system at all.
I don't think anybody I work with would ever want to go to America for the health care.
And I think that's surprising to Americans. They're under the impression that Canadians are clamoring to get down here and get care in the States.
It is true, though, isn't it, that some Canadians do come to the United States for health care?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Canadians just say that it happens less often than you would think it does. But those waiting lists do exist, and tomorrow we're going to talk about why people here wait so long and what changes are occurring here in Alberta because of those waiting lists.
I look forward to seeing that. Well, there is more coming up in this special edition of News 4 live from Calgary.
We're going to go to Rikk Lukens, who's going to tell us about one of Calgary's favorite pastimes. Well, of course, rodeo's very popular in Spokane and the surrounding areas too. And we were kind of a little disappointed that we didn't get to come up here in July, in July in the summertime when they have.
See the Stampede.
That's right.
The Calgary Stampede. That's a lot of people coming to town. I forgot what the exact number is, but it's quite a few people. Coming up tonight, though, we're going to show you a little bit of downtown Calgary and show you what that's like. It's really a beautiful area down here and some interesting things going on with that. We'll have that story coming up tonight at 11. Right now, though, let's go back to Karen in Spokane.